everyone. This is lesson 16, and today we are talking about bowing. At the very top of your worksheet, you're going to see the different parts of the bow. So you just have to draw a line from the term to the correct part of the bow. Let's review real quick. So you've got the screw at the end. This is the frog. The grip is here. It's the leather part. And then the part that is like really thin wire, that's the wrapping. It's called the wrapping because it's wrapped around the stick, which is here, horsehair, tip. I think that's it. Okay. Now, when you use your bow to play, we can make our bow do different things, okay, and make different sounds. We call those different sounds articulation. Okay, if I want you to articulate something with your mouth, I could leave off all the consonants and I could talk to you like this, and then you wouldn't understand what I was saying because I didn't articulate. Okay, I didn't speak clearly with those consonants, and the consonants stop the sound, right? Okay, so when you articulate something with your mouth, you use your teeth, your tongue, your lips. With the violin, we use the bow and we stop the bow, or it's how we start or stop a note, okay? So I can start it very softly and smoothly. Or I can start it with a little pinch or a click. Did you hear it? It starts with a t. Or I could make it bounce. Or I could... Or I could accent it, right? Those all have accents. So articulation is how the note starts or stops. Now, those articulations you need to know when you're playing, but we use different symbols to show articulation when we write music, okay? Or when you're reading it on the page. Different things mean different things. Different things mean different things. That didn't make any sense. Different symbols mean different things. Okay, so let me adjust this down a little bit. Oh. The first one, the easiest one ever, is the down bow and the up bow. Okay? So you can see the down bow symbol is written there on your paper. It looks like an upside down U. Okay, or a square or a box that's missing the bottom side. A down bow is when we start at the frog or we're pulling our bow down towards the floor. Okay, cellos, it's when you're pulling it towards the tip. When the bow is moving from frog towards the tip, it could even be this way. That's a down bow. I'm going towards the tip. Down bow. Okay, an up bow is a little V. That means that your bow is moving towards the frog. So we have down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? So, let me move this back. There we go. Chop off my head in the video. Got it. Okay. So, in music, you see the down, in the printed music, down bow and up bow, okay? When we go back and forth, down, up, down, up, down, up, we call that Detache. It's a French term, a bowing term that just means you're playing up and down, okay? And nothing really special. It's just you're playing up and down. So Detache is like separate bows. Down, up, down, up. Now, if the notes are just written on the page, it's just Detache bowing, okay? So, the idea is, if the first one is a down bow, then the next one is going to be an up bow. Down, up, then this is a half note, so it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, okay? So it's just each one goes it alternates down, then up, down, then up. So For an exercise, what I'd like for you to do is, I wrote out the first line of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I want you to practice writing those bow marks in. So practice drawing down bows and up bows, the symbol for that, on your on the paper over each note, and make sure it's the right one, okay? So we have our first quarter notes here, okay? So it's gonna go down, up, down, up. Okay, so you're just gonna write that over that way. We're just practicing the bowing. We don't write this in our music, okay? Because we don't really need extra stuff. If we know it's down, up, then we don't need to put it on the paper. Usually we just put one, and then you see it and you're like, oh, that's down, up, I got that. My arm can do that. So don't go through your Suzuki book and write down, up over every note. Like, it would just be too much on the page to look at, okay? This is just for practice so that you can practice drawing down bows and up bows on the paper. Okay, go to the second page. Here are some things that are moving up and down. I want to make sure you know which symbol means down and which one means up. So like the first person is diving into a pool. Do you dive up or do you dive down? If you dive into the pool and you go down into the water, circle the symbol that means down, okay? So you've got 6 of those there. The one underneath the diver is a man climbing up the mountain. So which one would you circle, down or up? Okay, then at the bottom of the page, what I want you to do is just draw the bowing symbol. What is this one supposed to be when you get there, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, oh, it starts with a down bow. So what's this one? Up, down, up, down. Oh, so write a down bow in that first box. Up, then this one's down, so what goes in the last box? Okay, do the last line by yourself. Then on the next page, I just give you a little bit of history about your bow. Like, did you know that bows used to look like that picture? It kind of looks like a bow and arrow. Like, you know how you shoot with a bow and arrow? That's where bows came from. They would take their stick and then they would tie hair at the top of one end, and they would stretch it, and the wood would like curve the other way. That's how they used to play. That bow right there is a picture of an old violin bow. Could you imagine? It didn't curve down like a smile. It was like a major frown for a bow. Okay, that's what Bach, when Bach wrote for violin, that's what the bow looked like. Then we talk about how many horsehairs are on the bow. And what was really cool is, as I was working on this sheet, I learned something new. And that is, I thought that they the horsehair came from like any horse and then they just like bleached it. They don't. They get it from horses that have white hair and grow white tails. And they get it from horses that live in super cold climates like Siberia and way up north in Canada, because the hair that their tail grows is thicker and stronger than horses that live in hot climates or warm climates. So once they clip the tail and then they clean it, they said that of all of the horsehair that they have, much of it goes to use in other things. It's only about 10% of all of the horses that they ever use their tails that makes it into your bow. And they clean that, and they brush it, and they wash it, and then they brush it, and they comb it, and they comb it, and then they put it in your bow, okay? So, most of it comes from stallions, and you can read why they don't get it from mares, because, yeah, aren't you glad? Why is it called the frog? Check that out. I have students ask me that all the time. Why is it called a frog? It doesn't look like a frog. Does it make a sound like a frog? I have an answer for you. They aren't really sure, but there are a couple ideas that maybe this is where it came from, okay? And then the very last one is make sure you wipe the rosin off your instrument after you play. So even small particles from the rosin can damage the finish. So you know how your violin is shiny? So you want to, after you finish playing when or practicing, because you practice every day, right? And sometimes some of you I know practice 3 or 4 times a day. So take your cloth every time after you finish and wipe your strings off, and especially here where the rosin stays, that will help keep it shiny and pretty, okay? That's it for this week. Have a great week. I'll see you guys next week.